Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab. If you're new to my channel, I'm Yori and I do bring you weekly videos on makeup and beauty every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 9 a.m. Central. For those of you returning, thank you so much for continuing to spend a few minutes of your day with me. I appreciate it so much. Today's video is going to be a review and demo on the new Dose of Colors Blushing Berries and Sassy Siennas eyeshadow palette. I also purchased the corresponding lipsticks and I have a lot of thoughts, so let's go ahead and get started. So Dose of Colors recently released the Sassy Siennas and Blushing Berries eyeshadow palette, I would say maybe about a week ago, and it is available on Ulta Beauty as well as on the Dose of Colors website. These two eyeshadow palettes are two 5-pan eyeshadow palettes that are continuing a line that they already created. So one of the first releases of this line was the Baked Browns eyeshadow palette, and they also had the Marvelous Mauves, which I also own but I can't find it. I really need to organize my makeup collection. But in any case, as you can see, the boxes are a little bit different. This was the original and this is the new one. The back side, however, is exactly the same. This is just the outer packaging. As far as the inside packaging, you still have the metallic eyeshadow palette with the shade names on the back, and that is very similar to how the original release was, where you have the metallic eyeshadow palette with the names on the back. The metal is reminiscent of the theme of the individual palettes, which I think is a really nice touch. So I will put the older one aside for now and focus on the two new ones. So this one is the Blushing Berries, and like the name would suggest, it's very berry toned, and this one is a Sassy Sienna, and this one is a lot more warm toned. The Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes are cruelty, paraben, and talc free, and they do retail for $32. Considering those $32, that means you are paying $6.40 per shadow, as each eyeshadow palette comes with 5 eyeshadows, and that is 1.7 grams per shadow, which is also 0.06 ounces. Here is the Sassy Siennas. And here are your shades. Each eyeshadow palette also comes with a full mirror, which spans the entire length of the palette, as you can see right there, and also a dual-sided brush where one is more of a shader brush and the other one is more of a pencil brush. So here is the eyeshadow palette for the Sassy Siennas. In the order that they appear on your screen, they are Stay Sassy, Brassy, Foxy, Bossy, and Oh So Sassy. Really cute names, it almost rhymes. I will go ahead and give you a swatch of each of the shades. So here's what all those shades look like. You've got Oh So Sassy, Bossy, Foxy, Brassy, and Oh So Sassy. These are just regular finger swatches, no brush swatches or anything like that. I have used the Sassy Sienna eyeshadows in a look. I was wearing it in my BoxyCharm unboxing for the month of December. I'll insert a picture, but also a link to the video if you're interested in checking that out. I did enjoy this palette. I would say that the quality of the eyeshadows are excellent throughout the entire collection. They are very, very consistent. However, you are only receiving matte shadows. So if you're someone who enjoys matte eyeshadow palettes, this is something that you might really, really enjoy. One of the thoughts that I had about this particular palette is that it's super beginner friendly in the sense that the shades are in like a perfect gradient. There's a lot more similarity between the shades than the other ones. I appreciate a little more contrast so that the colors do look slightly different on the eye. When I wore this, I got a beautifully blended, blown out smoky eye, I would say, and it was very easy to create. I was able to create the eyeshadow look in about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're someone who appreciates sort of quick makeup looks, this is also something that you might really, really enjoy. To me, the lack of contrast is a little bit of a drawback for this particular palette, and so of the two new releases, this one is not my favorite, although the quality is definitely there. If you appreciate warm tones, this is a beautiful palette to consider adding to your collection. Another thing that I might add is that the dual-ended brush that comes with the eyeshadow is actually really, really great quality. Today's look, as you'll see in the demo, I completed using just this brush and maybe 1 or 2 others, and so it's a really, really useful brush, which you wouldn't think about it just looking at it. On one side you do have your pencil, on the other side you do have more of a shader brush, but if you turn it on its side, it could actually function to blend, and I noticed that if I turn it on its side and work on the outsides of my eyeshadow, it fades out the color really, really nicely, so it looks like you have a lot more shades than you actually do. So that's just something to think about. It's a really nice brush. When you touch the shadows, they do feel very creamy to the touch, and they do have dimethicone as one of the ingredients, and so that could definitely explain the creaminess that you feel. The pigmentation is definitely there, and I would say that when you apply it to your eye, the color that you see is the color that you get on your eye. I was really, really impressed with these. these. Like I said, this isn't my first time wearing them, and I have found that the shadows wear very well throughout the day, and because I apply them very quickly, I don't really have to worry about my eyes watering so much. And if you want to create a matte look where you have the problem that I do, where my eyes water a lot when I'm applying eyeshadow, these are great because you get the pigmentation immediately and you don't have to fiddle with your eyes too much. And so if you enjoy a matte look, the Dose of Colors eyeshadows would be really great for that, and I do recommend them. The one that I am wearing on my eyes today is the Blushing Berries eyeshadow. Here's the front of the palette and the back of the palette, and here are your shades. So right off the bat, you probably noticed the same thing I did, that this eyeshadow palette has a lot more contrast in the different shades that were selected. I think that allowed me to create a more dimensional look. I am wearing this eyeshadow palette on my eyes today, and I will do a demo at the end of the video if you're interested in seeing how I came out with the look. If you compare the two eyeshadow palettes side by side, you can tell that there's a lot more diversity in the Blushing Berries eyeshadow palette, and that is my favorite of the two, despite the fact that I am a warm tone lover. So that was something really interesting to know. If you're trying to decide between the two, I would definitely recommend the Blushing Berries eyeshadow palette from the two options. This one also came with a dual-sided brush, as you will see in the application process. One thing that I wanted to mention is that when you're looking at the shade names, the way the label is oriented is that the shade name is directly behind the eyeshadow. So as you look at the eyeshadow here, you would look immediately behind it to see what shade that is, and that one is a Berry Black. Let's go ahead and swatch this palette as well. So here are your swatches of the Blushing Berries palette. This shade right here is Berry Chic. The next one over is Roseberry. Then you have Berry Pop. Then you have Mixed Berries and Berry Black. So incredibly pigmented. As I mentioned in my intro, I did pick up the two corresponding lip colors. The one for the berry palette is called Talk is Chic, which is so cute, and this is the lip color that I'm wearing right now. This is a beautiful lip color. It goes on like all Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks. It is one of my favorite formula of liquid lipsticks because they're not as drying, and they also are fully opaque and they last all day. They're also relatively transfer proof. I have minimal transfer. I don't even know if you can see it right there, but I definitely recommend the Dose of Colors formula, and the Talk is Chic shade I really love. On the other hand, I have to say I was really disappointed in this one. I will insert a clip of me wearing this shade. I don't know if it's a combination of the color or the formula of this particular shade. This one is in the shade Sweet and Sassy, which is so cute. Originally, I was really excited about this shade because I have liked how the Kylie Cosmetics Dirty Peach shade looks on a lot of people, and I thought that maybe this might be something like it. But when I apply it, to be honest, this one is really streaky, and then if I apply more layers, it takes a lot longer to dry down, and it settles into the fine lines and cracks in my lips, and it doesn't look very pretty. It also transfers to my teeth. I was making a mess with it, and I really didn't understand. I don't know if it's because the lighter shades are harder to formulate, but this particular shade, unfortunately, I cannot recommend. I'll insert the clip of me wearing it. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the color, and if you think it looks significantly different, because I might be tempted to return this one. It's $18, and I love the Dose of Colors formula so much. I really don't understand what happened with this one, but you guys let me know in the comment section down below what you think about how this shade looks on me. I don't think it looks very good, but I trust your opinions, so definitely let me know. If you don't like it, then this guy's going back. Here are some swatches of the two shades. Talk is Chic is the berry one, of course, and Sweet and Sassy is the more peachy nude. In the swatch, it actually looks fully opaque. I don't know if maybe it is that my lips have their own pigment to them, and so maybe this shade is just a little bit difficult to cover the color of my lips. So I know that one thing that we can do is apply a little bit of foundation over our lips before we apply color like this, or do a lip liner first to sort of neutralize our own base color. And so I might try it that way because it looks so pretty when you look at it like that. I do think that releasing coordinating lip colors is such a good idea. As you can see here, this is the one for the berry shade, especially because with 5 eyeshadows, you're essentially going for a monochromatic look. And so I really enjoy how the two look together. I think it created a really nice look, and I'm really happy with these two. Pretty. Here is the Sassy Sienna. It's interesting, I would have thought that they would have selected a darker shade like a burnt orange, but I am glad that they tried something different. It's just not something that I think is working for me necessarily, but it might work and look really beautiful on a lot of people, so it's definitely worth trying out. Although me myself, I'm a little bit iffy about this one, but it definitely coordinates really, really well with the eyeshadow palette. So those are my initial thoughts on the palette. Let's go ahead and get into the demo, and it's a very brief demo. It's a very easy eye look to create, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts. I'm going to start by placing the shade Berry Chic all over my lid, and I'm also going to take that into my transition. It's the lightest shade in the palette. I'm going to use the brush that came in the palette. Because the shade's sort of packed on, I'm going to take a blending brush and I'm just going to buff out the edges a little bit so it's a little more blended. I'm going to take the next darker shade, which is the shade Roseberry from the palette, this one right here, and I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to start to deepen out a gradient as I work my way across my eye. Next, I'm going to take the shade Berry Black from the palette and I'm going to outline my upper lash line, and I'm going to also use the brush from the palette. I do want to intensify the lighter shade just a little bit, so I'm taking a little bit more of the shade Berry Chic and I'm putting that down on the inner third. On a Dose of Color shader brush, I'm going to run the shade Berry Chic all along my lower lash line. Next, I'm going to take that center shade Berry Pop and I'm going to apply it also with the brush from the palette underneath the lash line, this time closer. And lastly, I'm going to take the shade Berry Black and I'm going to apply that just on the outside to meet the upper. Alright, I'm going to replicate the same look on my other eye and I'll be right back. Alright, now we're going to use the Wet n Wild Brow Highlighter and we're going to brighten the inner rim. And we'll finish the look with some mascara. And lastly, let's apply the lipstick in the shade Talk is Chic. Hopefully you enjoyed that demo. Let me know what you thought of the makeup look down in the comment section below. But yes, my overall thoughts is I definitely recommend the Dose of Colors eyeshadow palette. If you're choosing between the two, my personal opinion is the Blushing Berries is the better of the two palettes as far as color selection. The quality is absolutely impeccable between the both of them. I know that $32 is very pricey, but if you enjoy a monochromatic look and also something that you can apply very easily and not have to worry so much about it, then it's probably worth the investment, and I do recommend them. If you wanted to see the inside of the other one, this is the color scheme of the Baked Browns eyeshadow palette, and as you can see, there's a lot of contrast in this one as well, which is why I also like this one. This one is a lot more neutral than the berry one, and so this might be something that you might consider. And I will insert a picture of the Marvelous Mauves one in case you want to check that out as well. But again, those are the older two. Between the two new palettes, then I do prefer this one, even though they're both just absolutely amazing. I do always recommend the Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks. I would say if you have very pigmented lips, you might want to stay away from this one. You saw how it looks on me, and I don't think it's the best. I'm waiting for your advice to figure out if I should return this one. That's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions that I didn't cover in the video, please leave them in the comment section down below. I do read and respond to absolutely all of your comments and enjoy engaging with you in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you did enjoy it, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will see you again very soon on my next video. Bye bye!